Caddo Lake has just been released on HBO Max, and do you know what? I thought this was an absolutely brilliant film. Focused on a lake through multiple different years, a supernatural force of nature would occur when the water levels were low, and it would open up a gateway into different time periods. With Ellie being a character that lacked a sense of belonging and feeling out of place in a family that she was placed into through her mother, the ending provided a beautiful moment and showed that they were all in fact connected in ways that people wouldn't have been able to fathom. So with that, let's discuss the ending of the movie, the family tree, and answer how every character was connected. Here is a review of Caddo Lake and the ending explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. How are the characters connected? Right at the end of the movie, there was the big reveal that occurred, which was that Anna, the young girl that went missing in 2022, wound up in 1952 when she went after Ellie after she had a fight with her mother. When Anna went out onto the lake that evening in 2022, the water levels were low, which was the key indicator that the portal that transported people through time was active, and she ultimately found herself being transported through the different time periods, to the point where she ended up in 1952 at the hands of her son Paris. Within 1952, Paris found her and took her to a group of men that then drove her to the hospital, and she was nursed back to health. This is where the cycle of the family started, or continued, depending on which way you look at it, and it was almost like a loop, because Paris was actually Anna's son. So Anna was the mother, Paris was her son, C was with Paris, and the both of them went on to have Ellie. However, it was all only possible because that specific chain of events was always destined to happen. This centers around the theory of time being a closed loop of causality in which an event or sequence of events gets repeated over and over again. Because Anna went back in time in 2022 as a child, she was then able to be raised in the 50s and then went on to have Paris, who then went on to have Ellie. And it was through Paris also going out on the lake when the water levels were low and being caught in the different time periods, and C believing that he left her, that C met Daniel, who had Anna as a daughter, which then meant that the cycle then started. It is confusing, but also so simple at the same time once you get your head around it. This then meant that Anna was technically Ellie's grandmother in 2022, even though she was younger than her, which meant that Daniel was Ellie's great-grandfather instead of stepfather. The only person that wasn't directly related to Anna in any biological way was Celeste. The ending explained. As we approached the ending of the movie, we saw the reason why wolves were appearing in the present day on the lake, why black moths in swarms were present even though they were on the cusp of being extinct in the present day, and also why the alligator was cut perfectly in half and washed up. This was because the portal that transported people through time was open, and the creatures were freely moving between each time period. The reason the alligator was cut in half in such a clean fashion was because, as we saw during the ending with the rope, when the water level starts to rise, the portal shuts off in an instant. And I'm guessing that the poor gator must have found itself in between time periods. During the ending, Ellie was in 2005 and she was the very person that C fought with in the parking lot and who she thought Paris had left her for. But in reality, Paris got lost on the lakes when the water level was low back in 2003. And along with that, Paris had gone through the portal and ended up in 2022, where he was on Anna's boat and became a prime suspect in the missing case of her. Anna was missing, but not in the sense that everybody thought. She was missing through time and was growing up in 1952. By the time she went missing 3 days later in 2022, she was actually long dead because Anna had established her life and died in 1999 in the car accident that we saw in the opening section. When Paris was out on the lake during the beginning of the movie and he first found the portal, he said that he could sense his mother. This was because Anna was stuck on the lake in the form of a child. With Paris being a suspect and being held by the police, whilst he was in hospital, he stumbled across his father who was on the cusp of death. During this scene, he mentioned to his father how he was going to make it back to his original time period now that he knew what was going on, and he was going to return to C and also his father. However, that was something that never happened. He escaped from the hospital and took Daniel's car, which was where C from the present day was in shock at what she saw. Paris threw himself into Caddo Lake because he wanted to make it to the portal, but with the dam breaking, it meant that the water levels would rise and it would be shut off. However, by then, it didn't matter because he hid his head underwater and ended up dying. In the 2005 timeline, Ellie collected photos of Anna's life from 1952 all the way up until her death and brought them back with her to the present day so that she could show her mother. Ellie never felt like she was part of the family due to her missing her father, Daniel being her stepfather, and just feeling like she didn't really belong. But what the ending showed us was that she was deeply connected to every single person in that family in a way that she could never have imagined. Her saying, "We're family" through Anna to Daniel was literally what made them deeply connected and biologically related through time. Ellie had her sense of belonging that she really wanted and found that sense of family that she'd always needed. The final thing that we saw was C watching the news broadcast where Paris was announced as dead whilst he was also accused of being involved in the disappearance of Anna, and Ellie said such a powerful line. She said, "They didn't mean to leave us." And that was literally the case. None of them wanted to leave their timeline, they just got caught in a trap where Caddo Lake's water was low and found themselves in a time period that they were never supposed to be in. Our review of the movie. This movie really took me by surprise when watching it, and I absolutely loved it. The two different stories going on with Paris and Ellie, even before we knew that they were connected, were just so smoothly running alongside one another, and it was really nice on the eye to just watch. Both being out on the boat, or perspectives of conversations happening but cutting through time, really gave that sense that these characters were connected in some kind of deep way. I didn't know what it would be, but I knew it would be impressive when it came to the reveal. Time travel can sometimes be extremely confusing to follow or feel like something that's been done before, but I thought that by having a missing persons case and them being lost through time and there being this kind of bittersweet ending, it just made for great viewing and it was really easy to follow. We didn't have that reveal until the final third, but it just all made sense when it happened. The movie didn't treat its audience like it was stupid, and it didn't overcomplicate it, so I respect it for that. It knew what it needed to do and it executed it well. In terms of the performances by cast members, Dylan O'Brien is somebody that I haven't actually seen in much for a long while, but he delivered a strong performance in his role as Paris. You could feel the sense of mourning that he had for his mother and that it was plaguing his mind, and he just couldn't get over it. Plus, the desperation that he then had to get home once he realised was something that I really wanted him to achieve. I also thought Eliza Scanlon as Ellie delivered an equally matched performance, if not better than O'Brien, and you could feel that sense of emptiness that she had inside of her due to not feeling like she was part of a family. That guilt that she had for Anna going missing, the desire to find her, and then the sense of belonging right at the end when she realised that Anna was actually okay, lived a fulfilled life from the 1950s onwards where she made people happy, had a family, and just lived. I would say that this movie is most definitely worth a watch. Considering it doesn't have a theatrical release and is just on streaming, it's a film that you won't regret putting on. The performances are strong, it's visually nice on the eye, the story is engaging, the twist is great, and the reveal is extremely satisfying. As of me making this video, it's a Saturday, and I'm telling you now, it's the perfect Saturday night movie to watch on the sofa. Get your snacks in, or your food out for delivery, and just kick back and enjoy it. If you don't, then, I don't know, just blame it on me. So, there you have it, a review of Caddo Lake and the ending explained. If you want to see more movies from 2024 broken down, then click on the card in the top corner, there'll be a playlist there. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. And finally, if you'd like to see what I gave this movie out of 5 stars, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time and the movies that I just throw on in my spare time. What did you think of Caddo Lake? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.